J'espère que tu es prête pour ton entrevue.
Yes, I am. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Comment ça va aujourd'hui?
Doing pretty good. We had a 2-hour ride to this cottage actually right now, which we are roughly 180 kilometers away from home here just for the weekend, so doing good.
Qu'est-ce qu'on faisait avant qu'on commence cette entrevue?
Actually, we were arguing about how we were going to be recording this video, so that's what we were doing before this video.
C'était quoi ta première pensée ce matin?
Interesting. So first thing I thought this morning, I was thinking about Ad Engine because right now we've been spending a lot of time building our new program where we build in-house marketing teams for agencies. And one of the first things I thought this morning was about building or finishing off phase 1, which we just did actually as of today. So yeah, that'd be that.
Cool! Et après ça, ben c'est quoi que tu fais en fait?
So I'm doing quite a few things. Well, first of all, now we recently rebranded to paidadvertising.com. So this is now, think of that almost as the holding company. There's different departments within it. First of all, we have the agency, which is an e-commerce marketing agency. We do paid advertising and content creation for these brands. Then we have now UJI, which is our software we're currently building to basically replace creative strategists. Then we have Ad Engine, which is our program where we help advertising agencies and businesses build in-house marketing teams. And finally, we have creativespecialist.co, which is our training program to help marketers essentially and then place them within our Ad Engine businesses.
OK, donc c'est quand même beaucoup, là. Ça doit être assez complexe, mais comment tu as fait pour commencer?
Honestly, it started quite a while ago. So I'd say I was probably 15 or 16. I was doing graphic design on Twitter for Twitch.tv, which is a streaming service for gamers. And I was doing like stream packages, overlays for people. That's how I got started in the freelancing space. That was kind of my first entrepreneurship journey. Then I got hired as a graphic designer, as a contractor from one of my great friends from high school who had a real estate marketing agency. And then from then, we started talking and realized how much he was making. Saw there's an opportunity. I didn't really want a job out of college. So while still in college, started building my agency. And here we are. Now I'm over 2 years full-time into the agency post-college.
Wow! Puis, d'après toi, ça serait quoi la raison principale de ton succès à ton jeune âge?
I'd say speed, I think, is the biggest thing. That's what most people around me tell me, at least. I'm now partnered with Albert, a great friend of mine, into Ad Engine and Huge. And what he's been telling me, I think the biggest thing seems to be speed. So I'm somebody where you tell me something once, I'll take action immediately. I'm quite relentless with that, and I just implement. I've read this book once that kind of told me, fail, but fail fast. And that's what I try to live by.
Et quel serait ton meilleur conseil à des jeunes entrepreneurs qui voudraient commencer une entreprise comme toi?
I'd say just do it, to be honest. Like, there's not really any reason not to do it. I would also go against the grain. There's a lot of people around there that tell young people, like, drop out of high school, just don't need to go to college. You'll hear a lot of high school and college dropouts. I'm not one of them. I did go to college, I did graduate, I did get my degree. I have the security with me, and I never wanted to poke my back against the wall. I'm not somebody who personally perform when their back is against the wall. I need some level of security, and for me, well, that was getting my diploma. So I did that, still build a business. So that's why I'd say I don't think there's any reason why not to start.
Parfait. Puis, comment tu as fait ton premier dollar en ligne?
Well, yeah, it was going back to graphic design, I'd say. First online dollar, it was, or I say graphic design, actually would be flipping Counter-Strike Global Offensive skin. So it was about gambling on these websites, which I don't recommend because I also lost a lot of money in that process, but I did make quite a bit of money actually. At some point I turned, it was roughly $70 into multiple thousands of dollars playing roulette. So you guys know there's black, there's red, and there's like one green in there. It was like time 70x or something. So yeah, that was that.
Et comment tu te sentais après ce gain-là?
Good, but short-lived because I lost everything the next day. Not only that, I was in overdraft protection actually back then on my bank account because I gambled so much. But if I was speaking about my real kind of hard-earned dollar online, which was with graphic design, it just felt unreal. It felt like fake money, to be honest, because it was through PayPal. It never really hit my bank account. And yeah, to me, it just felt like it was some free money, to be honest, because I really enjoyed genuinely graphic design. I was doing design even when I was not getting paid. I was doing that from my own YouTube channel. So yeah, I just felt like it was almost a hack.
Parfait. Puis, ça serait quoi une journée typique dans ta vie?
So I wake up at about 6:30 to 7 in the morning. First thing I do is go to the bathroom for 15 minutes to do the whatever in the morning. Then I head over to the gym for roughly an hour, so from 7 to 8 a.m. From then, usually, yeah, so I'm gonna have a workout for about an hour. That's 3 days a week. If I don't have a workout, I just get up and go straight to take a shower and then get some breakfast. Then what I'll do is usually I'll come back, take a shower, read the Bible, then I'll get to work. I'll work from roughly 8 or 9 a.m. to give or take 12. Usually I keep my mornings for deep work, so I only focus on the highest leverage task. And in the afternoon, then from roughly 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'll have meetings. 5 to 6:30 until dinner is ready. I'll usually focus on more calls or small tasks. I'll go eat dinner. Usually I'll spend the rest of the evening either working a little bit, then hanging out with my fiance. So that's usually a day in the life.
Et question pour toi, comment tu trouves les soupers justement?
Interesting. Well, I can't lie. They're banging. Food is amazing. So that is a perk of being engaged, guys.
Et qu'est-ce que les gens ne pourraient pas connaître de toi?
I'd say quite a few things. Look, as mentioned earlier, I started with YouTube, but I was very, very, very skinny and small growing up. And that was honestly something that for me was always bugging me quite a lot. It's something I quite in fact hated about myself, which the true reason why I started to work out was to just change my self-image. And to be honest with you, I'd say something that people don't know about myself, I think, is like the amount of work it took to start improving my self-image. Well, you know, behind the camera, right? I've had to eat until I almost got sick for like 6 months, last year, to just try and gain a little bit of weight. It's always something I really struggle with, to be honest. And yeah, I'd say that's something I'm still in the process of overcoming.
Et c'est quoi tes loisirs préférés en dehors du travail?
Well, spending time with my fiance is a big one. Going on places like this is also another one. Golf is now becoming a bigger one. I have a membership at a driving range, and I'm starting to play more out in the field. So that's something I've been doing quite a lot. And I do read and I take walks. I'm honestly a pretty boring person overall, but it gets the job done. So that's it.
C'est quoi ton top 3 de livres que tu recommanderais?
Ooh, Breakthrough Advertising would be the first one. I think it's one of the best books I read into marketing psychology. It changed my entire workflow at the agency. I'd go number 2, Reality Transurfing. Pretty much shifted my reality, honestly. Then my way of thinking and everything. Book number 3 would have to be a close, probably be a tie. I'd say like How to Win Friends and Influence People is definitely a great one. Then I'd have to also put that as a tie with books in the Bible. I'd say like the Book of Job is probably a very interesting one with a pretty nice lesson for any believers out there.
Et un peu dans la même veine de questions, quel serait ton top 3 des podcasts que tu recommanderais?
Podcasts, All In Podcasts would be one, honestly, that I would recommend. All In Podcasts is great just for general knowledge. That's where I get a lot of my news from, actually. So that would have to be one. Second, I love The Good Life by Taylor Welch. That's actually a pretty good one too. It's just nice clips from his different talks that he's having. And then number 3, I would probably say either The Knowledge Project or, yeah, let's just go with The Knowledge Project, to be honest, which is a great one also.
Quelle serait la chose que tu aurais voulu savoir quand tu as commencé ton entreprise?
I would have loved to learn before, or I guess know, the ins and outs of honestly managing a team. I think to me it's something that did not come easy. If you think back to school, I was the type of kid that would love to do work alone, essentially. Like I wouldn't really like teamwork that much. So that would be, I would say, like how to really manage and work as a team, how to incentivize people, how to motivate people, how to bring people towards a common goal. I think this is one of the biggest things that for me was a struggle initially. I still strive to become a better leader myself and people person. Believe it or not, I may sound extroverted, but I sometimes am a little awkward with people, and that's something I know I need to work on, especially when it comes to managing a team.
Quelle est la chose la plus encourageante d'avoir ta propre entreprise?
Honestly, being able to do stuff like this. You know, we had actually barely nothing planned this weekend. We just decided to book in a place very last minute, basically 24 hours before, 48 hours before we left. I settled in on that place. It's just being able to kind of leave whenever you want, wherever you want. 2 hours from home, I'm gonna, have my laptop here if ever I need to work, record videos like these, spend time together. I don't think I'd be able to do any of that without the freedom that I get from work. I don't think I really reached peak financial freedom yet, but I did reach location freedom, which I can honestly say that I can work wherever I want. So that's a very good thing.
Et si tu n'avais pas ton entreprise, qu'est-ce que tu ferais?
If I did not have, I'm gonna say the path that I was on, I was supposed to be a graphic designer. That was what I was studying on. And my biggest kind of dream when I was a teen was to become a video game designer. So I wanted to be a level designer more specifically. If you know what this is, we are in Montreal, Canada, so there's a lot of video game studios. We have Ubisoft being one of the biggest ones, so I really wanted to work for Ubisoft, actually. That was the goal.
OK. Maintenant que nous sommes bien confortables, on va passer aux questions plus croustillantes. Quel est ton plaisir coupable?
Chips. Anything salted. I like salted stuff, honestly. Chips, pretzels, popcorn. Popcorn's not good for the stomach though, but sun chips more specifically, I'd say is like definitely a treat.
Et si tu devais avoir un repas avec n'importe qui, ça serait avec qui et pourquoi?
Musk, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to speak to Elon Musk, honestly, for a day. I think he's arguably one of the smartest guys in the world. For somebody to lead and just have the mental capacity to manage 3 completely different businesses in 3 different industries on 3 very big missions, kudos to this guy, honestly. I'd love to have a day with him.
Ça serait quoi le meilleur conseil que tu aurais jamais reçu?
I'd say just from my grandfather, to be honest. He already did very good for himself in life. He had a very successful career working for a business, and he always wanted to start a business but never did. And just every time I really see him, the message I get from him is just to kind of keep going. And it's gonna sound super cheesy, but that's it. I'm somebody very driven by nature, but sometimes I get lost, right? When you walk a very straight path, it's super easy to go a little bit left, a little bit right, and more often than not, I think just having somebody that's able to recenter yourself, I think he's that guy. My grandfather is that for me, and seeing him helps me. So yeah, just keep going. So I'd say, as cheesy as it is, that's it.
Et ça serait quoi ton but ultime dans la vie?
To not have to worry about the basic stuff, to have enough, honestly, about enough of everything. And enough for me, I posted actually a story on Instagram lately when doing a Q&A. I got asked a very similar question. I said, look, a fully paid for house, 3 cars that are paid for, 1 for my fiance, 1 for myself, so my daily, and a sports car, to have money saved up for kids. They don't have to worry anything through school. And honestly, like money for the day to day, that to me is like ultimate goal number 1 is just to have enough, to be honest. Like I'm not looking to go out there and make 100 billion, at least not for now. I'm really looking to have more than enough for us to live a comfortable life, and then we'll go from there. I'd say anything else is just, as I said in that same story, anything else is fun money.
Et où est-ce que tu te vois dans 5 ou 7 ans?
I would love to exit a business at that point. We're actually building exitable business at this point. Agency is obviously very hard to exit. It's very tied to a personal brand. I'm getting into different games right now, the SaaS, education, etc. The goal is obviously to be able to, at some point, make life-changing amount of money through exiting something.
Et c'est quoi la chose la plus dispendieuse que tu possèdes en ce moment?
My car, I'd say. Yeah, my car is definitely it's the most expensive thing, but it dropped a lot in value in the last year. So I'm not gonna lie, even though it dropped in value, it's still the most expensive thing I own.
Et d'après toi, ça serait quoi ta prochaine grosse dépense?
I love a Porsche. I've been looking at it. My good friend now just bought a Porsche, actually, but I've been eyeing a 911 for a very long time. I've now encountered some very great deals recently on a 718 Cayman. GT4s also are like the GT4 model of a 718 Cayman is just chef kiss. It's honestly great price, great car. That would probably be something that's on my radar.
Et est-ce que tu as certains talents cachés?
Interesting, hidden talent. Well, let me ask you, do I have any hidden talent? It's a good one, eh? Well, I don't know if it's really a hidden talent, but I'd say like I'm very intuitive by nature. Like it's a great example. On our way here, actually, I said like, I constantly have, I don't know if that's a talent, but I constantly have deja vu experience of like, I feel like I've been in a space more than once. Not only that, and that's gonna put me in a different route. I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite books was Reality Transurfing. I forgot the word in English, but I had learned how to become conscious during a dream, essentially, and spent weeks trying to basically, quote unquote, wake up in a dream and to take control over the dream. And I did, actually. That's something I did once, which was honestly a crazy experience, but that's counted as a hidden talent.
Parlons maintenant un peu musique. Ça serait quoi ta chanson go-to en ce moment pour te remonter le moral?
5'9" by, man, I forgot his name, Tyler something. It's just one of these songs. I love listening to country lately. I was listening to the pop country playlist on Spotify, and so this song came up. It just made me think actually of my fiance, and that was it. I love that song.
Et qui est le chanteur qui est le plus présent sur ta playlist en ce moment?
Morgan Wallen. I'm really into my country era right now, so Morgan Wallen is probably the one I listen to the most.
Et parlons un peu voyage maintenant. Si tu avais à voyager n'importe où dans le monde en ce moment, tu irais où?
I go to Japan. Like I've always said that. It's not new. It's like been for, I was a kid, I said Japan. The only thing that really prevents me from going to Japan is my food allergies. I'm like very allergic to sesame. In fact, coming to this place here, I forgot my EpiPen at home. So we had to stop by a pharmacy to buy one, which are pretty expensive if you don't have like any insurances, which I couldn't get at that pharmacy. But I would go to Asia, like it's more specifically, probably South Korea and Japan. I'd love to visit.
Et parmi les voyages que tu as déjà fait, c'est quoi ta destination que tu as préférée?
It'd be a very hard tie between Cape Town and Marbella in Spain. Cape Town was probably one of the best overall destination. It's very not that hot over there. Like it's actually like it's very good and sustainable temperature. It's beautiful, honestly, outside. The landscape is amazing. The people over there are so kind and made a lot of friends over there. And I would say Marbella just for the environment. Marbella is probably one of the richest places I've been in my life. The cars are crazy. You see a Lambo every like other car basically. So it's something.
Et un peu plus près de la maison, ça serait quoi ton endroit préféré à Montréal pour relaxer ou juste chiller?
It's not necessarily in Montreal. Well, if I have to go close to Montreal, let's just put it that way. I'd go either up north, probably up north, like Mont-Tremblant, which is pretty nice for golfing. It's nice for shopping also. It's nice for skiing. It's nice honestly for everything. Also, if you just want to detach and just go out in the woods, there's a lot of nice cabins over there. So I'd probably say that. If we're talking about on the island of Montreal, I'd say the Old Port is a very nice place to just relax and take a stroll and have fun.
Et si tu avais à manger un dernier repas pour le reste de ta vie, ça serait quoi?
That's a very good one. I think he's gonna like me for that, but my father-in-law makes these chicken, like these, how do you call it? The chicken like nuggets, but basically like bigger ones. Those honestly slap. Those are amazing. I'd probably take that, to be honest.
Si on parle un peu de ton enfance, ça serait quoi ton moment le plus mémorable de ton enfance?
It'd have to be negative, unfortunately. I'd say my parents' breakup is definitely one of the biggest moments I have like in my childhood, to be honest. Second closest, though, if we would go a little bit more on the happy side, would have to be sports, like more specifically hockey. I'm thinking about a specific hockey tournament in mind where we won. That was honestly one of the craziest experiences. Like team sports, if you haven't played team sports, I highly recommend it. I'm a very team player. Even though I said earlier I work good alone, I love to be surrounded by people, and playing hockey honestly gave me that. So I'd say winning hockey tournaments was great.
Et est-ce qu'il y a des choses que tu faisais quand tu étais enfant que tu fais encore aujourd'hui?
I'm pretty active, to be honest, overall. Like for me, my father instilled in me when I was very young that sports was fun. Like, yes, I had a Nintendo DS back then and a Game Boy. Like sometimes I'd play. I was limited though in the amount of time that I could play. And for me, like really fun was described as sports. So if I wanted to have fun, I had to go outside, pick up a hockey stick and like shoot in the net, or to do rollerblade and to go biking. Like fun was with sports. So I'm still very active to this day, I'd say. And yeah.
Question un peu plus personnelle maintenant. Disons ta fiancée. Comment crois-tu qu'elle va te décrire?
Interesting. Now she's the one holding the camera, so I got to be careful about what I'd say. I think she would describe me as a pretty driven individual. There's honestly nothing that really stops me. I'm very future driven also, sometimes too much. I think her presence helps me stay grounded and be present. Whereas I'm rarely present. I'm too much ahead in my mind and trying to think about all the next thing. I think she'd probably mention that. She would hopefully also mention or speak of me as somebody who brings people together. I've had this tendency with a lot of my close friends. I'm the one, I often meet people for the first time and introduce them to other people. Like I'm a referral type of guy. Like I do make a lot of things happen. I've created a couple with our two best friends. There's a lot of things like that I think I love connecting people together. And I hope this is something she mentioned.
Quelles sont les sphères de ta vie que tu penses que tu as le plus travaillé dernièrement sur toi?
I think relationships has been a big one, to be honest. Like getting engaged honestly is very big, much bigger than people think. It's not just like you buy a ring and then you propose and it's done. You know, there's a lot of things that come up afterwards, not only from outwards expectation, but also just I have very high expectations for myself, and I think we've had to have very hard chats since that moment. Planning a wedding is no easy task. And I'd say I think my love life has been something I've really invested a lot of myself into the last 3 months. And last but not least, you know what? I'll keep it to the love life. I'd say, yeah.
Quelle est la personne dans le monde business qui t'inspire le plus en ce moment?
It pretty much always has been Iman Ghatzi, to be honest. Like I'm now have a chance to working with his team at the Gloria Agency by coaching a part of the community. But he's my first mentor, my only real mentor, honestly, I had in this space. I think he's doing amazing things. The guy's now becoming a legend. It's very hard to not notice him if you're in the online business space. The guy has growing influence. I also had the chance to meet him in Cape Town in January. Very nice guy in person, so I definitely have to go Iman Ghatzi.
Et qu'est-ce qui t'a attiré vers lui au départ?
My friend, I'm not gonna lie, unfortunately no merit to Iman. My friend who had the real estate marketing agency, I just asked him how'd you get started? He's like, I bought that course from this guy. I bought 6-figure MMA actually back then from Iman. He's like, buy his course. I was like, okay. So I just bought the same course essentially, and that's how I got into the grow your agency sphere back then, and that's where I really learned about Iman.
Et c'est quoi ton outfit go-to en ce moment?
Very similar to what I have right now, actually. I would probably say that, maybe change that for a polo. I just bought some new polos from Suit Supply that I love. But these pants, here's the thing. I've been on a quest to find the perfect pants for the last 2 years. I'm telling you, I tried everything. I tried the Lululemon ABC joggers. I've tried the Lululemon commission pants. I've tried the Cuts clothing AO joggers. I wanted to find a very good pair of pants that could be worn nicely, but also day to day. That was breathable, but it had a good fit. And I think I've landed on the perfect ones. So the ones I'm currently wearing are the Jet Setter pants from Jack Archer. I think those would have to be the best pants ever. If I had to mention my first opinion, it's only been a few days now that I have them. And definitely the polos from Suit Supply. So, yeah.
Est-ce que tu aimes aussi les accessoires? Parce que là, ton outfit semble plutôt simple. Est-ce que tu accessoirises un petit peu?
Yeah, I've been getting into watches in the last year. I bought my first 2 real watches, I'd say, in the last 9 months. This one, so a Rolex Datejust 41 millimeter It's the flat bezel, it's the oyster bracelet with the blue Azzurro dial. Very simple watch, like an entry-level Rolex watch, but I bought it new. It was like brand new. Great watch, my first ever luxury watch. So that was like the first big piece that I treated myself to in September 2022. And then a couple months after, when they came out, I think within the like 7 days that they came out, I bought the Omega Moonswatch Mission 2. I forgot if it's Jupiter or Saturn, but one of these two, the one that is beige with like a red arm to it. So that'd be this one with the custom horse strap with a rose gold clasp. So I'd say those are my two go-to watches. They pretty much fit with everything. Silver watch can't go wrong. The other one has a black band and it's rose gold, so it's nice with any neutral colors. So I'd say I'd love to get more into watches moving forward.
Justement, est-ce que tu prévois agrandir ta collection de montres prochainement?
I've been on the wait list for like coming up on a year now at the AD, the local authorized dealer from Rolex, for a Explorer 2 with black dial. So I hope to get the call someday that there's going to be one ready for me. So that's one that I hope to add to my collection, that I would love to one day add to my collection. It'd have to be a Patek, honestly, a Patek Nautilus. I just think they look great. I would probably just, Patek would have to be one. You can't go wrong with it. I think it's timeless. It looks very, very good. And that's a one day type of watch as of right now.
Et est-ce que tu penses que le petit Justin de 5 ans serait fier de toi avec cette collection-là?
Man, I'd say the 5-year-old me wouldn't necessarily understand. I would rather ask my 10-year-old self, because that's like 1 year post parents breakup, which was pretty bad for my 9-year-old self. If you've watched my story video where I got a lot into school fights, and it was honestly pretty bad next couple of years for myself mentally. I love to ask that guy, actually, the 10-year-old self. I think he'd be probably crying out of joy, and I'd love to also hug him, to be honest. I'd say definitely, I think he'd be proud of me.
Et est-ce que tu aurais un conseil à lui donner à ce Justin de 10 ans-là?
Stop moping. Just fucking grow up. Like, that's it. I think at some point in 2020, had a big event, personally, it just forced me to grow up. And when you were forced by life to look yourself in the mirror and take action, you got no choice. I think specifically as a man, nobody's gonna come and comfort you in life. You either agree with that fact and go for it and just kind of tell yourself it is what it is and act, or you try and beat yourself against it and end up doing nothing. So I just tell that guy, as harsh as it is, grow up and do it.
Si tu avais à tout recommencer aujourd'hui avec les connaissances et l'expérience que tu as en ce moment, est-ce que tu ferais quelque chose de différent ou tu garderais le tout tel quel?
I'd probably do something very similar. I'd still start a marketing agency. Maybe not the same industry. To be quite honest with you, e-commerce is a very competitive and hard industry. I'd probably try and dominate more in the local lead generation market. But luckily for any of these local lead gen agencies and e-com agencies, because honestly, it's quite hard to run an agency. With that engine, we build all those teams. So I think the really hard work is building a team and also having a strong marketing person. It's going to be helping to get client results. Now we do that for people. So I'd probably have an easier time if I had someone like me to help me with that. But no, I'd probably keep it very similar.
Est-ce que tu aurais une citation préférée que tu aimerais partager?
Yeah, it goes along, I don't know who said it, but it sounds along those lines. It's a bird peacefully rests on a branch, not because of the trust in the branch, but because of its trust in its ability to fly. And I think that's a very good one, because I've often defaulted to a scarcity mindset. And it's like, you're not confident in the current position because of money, because of your outside circumstances. You're comfortable in your current position because you're confident in your own ability to hit it out of the park, right? So I'd say it's probably my best goat.
Et d'après toi, c'est quoi la chose que tu vas faire directement après cette entrevue-là?
I don't think it's something we can say on camera, so we'll just keep that off for now. No, but in all honesty, I think we'd probably go take a shower at this point. We had a long day, so I'd say that.
Et est-ce qu'il y aurait une dernière petite chose que tu aimerais dire avant qu'on ferme le tout?
Honestly, last year has been very crazy to me, and I'd say I'm going to end this up with a lesson.
we had some of the biggest growth moments in our last year, but also some of the lowest lows. Like the peaks and the lows of the business haven't been anything close to the last year. The prior 2 years were very similar in a sense, like linear growth, no real lows. It was honestly always kind of higher every month, something new happening, and there was no big crash. Whereas last year, there's a lot of big crashing moments. And why am I saying that? I'd say instead of trying to chase growth rapidly, because again, I said earlier, I love speed. Sometimes I wish I was a little bit more cautious moving forward. And I'd say now that I've started to work with a partner for my software company as well as the educational side, that partner of mine, he's a lot more grounded and a lot more details oriented and a lot more on the simple stuff than I am. I'm more big picture, take action fast. He's details and then meticulous about it. So I'd say, contrary to a lot of the advice people give you, try and find, if you are going to start with a partner, find somebody who completes you. Find somebody who's your complete polar opposite. And if not, then spend the time really learning what archetype you're most of, learn your flaws, and try and patch those flaws with your team. Something I didn't do early on.
Good. Merci, Justin. C'était vraiment intéressant. À bientôt.
Thank you. And on that note, I'm going to invite any of you guys to watch other videos on the channel for some more useful business, life, marketing, e-commerce tips. And with that being said, there's going to be 2 links in the description down below. One for you to join our free community where you can have access to our mini course on paid advertising and e-commerce economics and basics. And if you're an e-commerce brand watching this video, then I'd love to chat with you. Book in a call down below and let's talk.